Thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca and today we are going to be talking about a very specific category of plants, and that is lance-shaped leaves. So we're gonna talk about my favorite lance-shaped leaves. Lance-shaped, how many times can I say lance-shaped? These are the leaves that are more on the long, thin side, and they happen to be one of my favorite types of leaves. I just think they look so cool, and there's a couple different varieties that I'm really excited to show you today. Okay, the first lance-shaped leaf of the day, I need to come up with a nickname, LSL. The first LSL of the day is the Philodendron Patricia. I'm gonna put it on this side. I think the lighting is a little bit better over here. So as you can see, it has a really nice long and skinny vibe here. This is actually a cutting that I got from my friend Adam, not dude. His original plant came from an import that I did. It wasn't even on my radar until he told me about it. And once I saw it, I was like, dang it. I should have gotten two, or maybe I should pretend like it didn't come and then I have this plant. Just kidding, I definitely gave it to him and it paid off because I got a cutting, and the cutting was a mid-cut, so it had to start over. So this was the first leaf that I got from his plant, and then it eventually put out all of these. As you can see, she's been very busy. I would eventually like to put it on some sort of pole or plank, and they kind of grow in like a rosette pattern, so each leaf will come out like kind of like the 5 points of a star, you know what I mean? Like they're gonna come out twisted up. Does that make any sense? Like it's not vining, but it's kind of like twirling its way up. I don't know if that makes any sense. Anyway, I have it potted in a glazed pot. So it has like a nice terracotta look, but it is glazed. And this is a pot that I got from a local nursery in Tucson. This style of pottery is called Talavera, and it's, you know, from Mexico. And it's some of my favorite. I love this specific type of Talavera, like this like minimal colors look. I think it's really beautiful. Typically, it's very, very colorful. Anyway, as far as care goes on this plant, it's very easy to care for. Honestly, I love philodendron for that reason, because you can get such cool varieties like this, and they're like cake to take care of. I mean, it honestly feels like the same care as like a heartleaf philodendron. It doesn't need an excess amount of humidity. Like really, it's fine in very low humidity. It did really well in Arizona for Adam, so if that's any bit of insight into how well it does in many different environments. And these leaves are nice and thick, so I feel like they do hold water for a bit longer than other types of philodendron, just because they are a little bit more on the waxy side, and these stems are pretty thick. So those are two indicators that a plant is a little bit better at retaining water. The leaves are thicker and waxier, and the stems are a little bit thicker. Just a little bit of a hot tip for you. Okay, another plant that is like a total stunner and has beautiful long leaves is the Aglaonema Silver Bay. So Aglaonema typically do have those longer, skinnier leaves, and the Silver Bay is one that has a little bit rounder leaves for an Aglaonema. But even so, I think it's so beautiful and definitely fits the category for this video. So as you can see, it has really cool, like sagey green coloring. And admittedly, it is a little bit thirsty, so it's looking a little bit more wavy than it normally would. But this is pretty much what they look like. I mean, if you've been to any mall, any, I don't know, airport, you have definitely seen these before. And I don't know if, like, I feel like a lot of people are plant blind, and so you don't really notice things like this. But once you know that plants are out there and like exist, and you collect houseplants, or I don't know, you just make a decision to notice plants, you're gonna notice them everywhere, and this is gonna be one that you see all the time. It's a really, really great solid plant. It grows kind of like in stalks. So as you can see, mine is pretty old. Where there's a line, that is where a leaf used to be. So it has definitely shed and grown quite a few leaves, which is really cool. I've had this plant for basically since I moved here. I bought it when I moved here because I had a few in my old apartment, and I don't think that I ended up bringing them because they either died or they were easy to replace, so I gave them away. I don't honestly remember what happened. Anyway, I think I gave them to my friend. It's just a really great solid plant, and honestly, it's one that you will literally never have to think about. And when it is thirsty, it's very vocal about it. Like, you don't have to worry about, like, I don't know, not knowing if it's thirsty. There's some houseplants that just genuinely are really bad at telling you, kind of like the Philodendron Patricia. Honestly, like, it's kind of hard to tell when it actually needs water because the leaves don't really change in shape or consistency. This one will, the plant will visibly droop quite a bit, and it will sort of take on a more like wavy look, as you can see Mine is like starting to get thirsty. We're in the beginning stages. So if you're looking for a good like starter plant and you like those like longer, skinnier leaves, this is a really, really great place to start. They're super affordable and they come in a lot of different colors too. So if you are a person who likes colorful houseplants, Aglaonema is a really great genus for you. Thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Squarespace is actually where I host both of my websites, so the website that I have for Potted Together and my personal website, which I'm still working on. I had a little bit of a wrench in the plans with the baby and all, but if you're not familiar with Squarespace, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build your brand online and sell products or post blog posts, connect with your audience, all of these things. The best thing about Squarespace is it's just really easy to use. I have no formal experience with building websites, and despite that, I think I've made some pretty beautiful sites. You start off with a template, and each template has a bunch of customizable details within it so that you can make the website exactly what you want. You can drag and drop all of the elements wherever you want them to be. Squarespace also offers a lot of different features for websites, so if you have like a mailing list that you like to keep in contact with, if you're wanting to provide more personalized services online, Squarespace has a member access feature. So basically people subscribe on your website and they can receive extra perks and different services, sort of like how my Patreon works. Something that's also nice about Squarespace is you can connect all your social media accounts to it. So I specifically have Instagram connected to my Squarespace site, and that just makes it really easy because I'm not having to constantly keep the website updated with new photos, because you want your website to be current, and one of the best ways to do that is to have updated photos. So if you're looking to create a website and share a little bit more about what you do online, I would really suggest Squarespace. Super easy. You can go to squarespace.com/BeccaDeLaPlants to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or a domain. Okay, my newest baby, which I'm just so excited about, and I want to like share it everywhere when I can. This is my Philodendron Patricia. I have to like move myself or the camera back quite a bit to get the full picture here. Hold on, here we go. There we go, you can see a little bit more of it. These leaves are really, really long and very, very skinny, so definitely fits the Lance Shape LSL prompt that we have going on here. I got this one recently at a pop-up in Colombia. Ecuagenera actually came to a store here called Basement Reef. They are awesome. I love Ecuagenera so much. I have a lot of plants from them in my collection now, actually. And this one is doing its best. So I think that when they do pop-ups, those plants are fresh imports, like they haven't been acclimated. So it is a little bit more work on the front end for you to keep these plants happy. Admittedly, not all of my plants from that pop-up are doing amazing, but it honestly is because they're just fresh imports, and that is pretty typical that they're gonna have a little bit of a nosedive before they start thriving. Ecuagenera, when they sell them like through like their California vendor or their Florida vendor, I believe that they acclimate the plants first for you and then they sell them, and all the plants that I've bought from them in that case have been super happy. This philodendron is so cool, and I actually didn't even know about it until the pop-up. Like I saw it and I thought it was cool, and my friend was like, oh yeah, that's a Patricia, and she showed me a picture of what they look like big Patricia, and I like freaked out. I was like, yeah, I need that. Like I need that plant right now. And I really am not an advocate for impulse buying like that. I'm really not, but I just decided to do it anyway because I felt like, I can take care of philodendron. I have a lot of philodendron in my collection. It's probably my favorite genus. So I felt pretty confident in my abilities to just like pick one up and try it. But I have heard that this one is a little bit on the more difficult side, which of course, like it has to make you work for it, right? If it's gonna be this beautiful. I don't know, that's just how it goes, right? Anyway, it hasn't put out any new leaves, and it doesn't really look like it's gonna try for a while. So I will definitely update whenever that happens, but generally we are just like happy to get to the next day with this plant still alive and happy. It hasn't given me any issues, but the leaves do feel like pretty soft most of the time, and I think it's just because the root system is just still trying to acclimate. But anyway, it's just so lovely. The sun is coming in. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best to film during times when I just like have a moment and the sun is unfortunately coming in. But I only have one more plant to show you, so it's fine. Okay, last on the list is my Philodendron Patricia. Now this plant is so cool. I have talked about this plant a lot on my channel, so I'm sorry if you have heard me mention this one before. I'm gonna bring you in just a little bit tighter. Okay, so this is the newest leaf that came out, and you can still see like the little bit of burgundy in the back of the leaf. These leaves are so cool because the front is a really nice sagey green color. I honestly love this color of leaf, like this like lighter green color. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. And then the back of these leaves is just the most delicious burgundy color. Look at how beautiful that is. I love plants that have like a dynamic element like that, like a multicolor leaf, or I don't know, cool variegation, or just a cool shape. And this plant has almost all those things. It's not variegated. That's the only thing it's missing. This one, like the Billietier, is extremely easy to care for. And this one grows more like a vine. So you can see there's like internodal spacing right here. So it's really easy to propagate. Like it would be very easy to just like chop that right there, which I am going to be doing soon. I really don't have any reservations chopping and propping philodendron like this, just because they are such workhorses. They grow so well. And this one is looking, it's just like a bit spindly right now, so it's kind of hard to show you like a good visual of what it looks like, but this is kind of what we're working with. I hope that's a little bit easier to see. I have seen people have this plant as a hybrid with the Billietier, and honestly, I think that would be my dream lance-shaped leaf. So I am gonna kind of look for that once I'm in the place to buy plants again and put a little bit more time into them. I have to wait for my life to regulate out a little bit after the baby. Anyway, friends, that is it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed learning a little bit more about some lance-shaped leaves. And if you have any favorite lance-shaped leaves in your collection, I would love for you to share it down below. Yeah, I'm just super excited to see what you guys have, because like I said at the beginning of this video, this is one of my favorite leaf shapes. I just think they're so unique and so cool. I have probably like 4 more that I could have shared in this video, but I didn't want it to be like a million years long of me chatting about lance-shaped leaves. How many times have I said that in this video? I'm probably so annoying. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I look forward to chatting with you in the comments. Make sure that you're subscribed if you're not already, and I will see you again next Tuesday. Bye!